Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Spotlight series, where we share current trends on the critical role resilience plays within organizations. I'm Pam Borish, your host and Chief Marketing Officer here at MeQ. And joining me today is Dr. Andrew Shatté, Chief Knowledge Officer and co-founder of MeQ. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you, Pam. It's such a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. So let's just jump right in. In our work here at MeQ, we talk to a lot of HR and business leaders. We sometimes hear that asking employees to become more resilient in order to deal with a high-strain work environment feels like it puts another burden on people. Is training people to become more resilient asking too much of them?
This is a really good point, and it's a really good question because we know that in particular over the last 3 years, employees have gone up dramatically in terms of their risk for burnout, clinical anxiety, clinical depression, etc. The last thing that we want to do is place yet another burden upon them. Now, I do believe that resilience is the gift that keeps on giving. So with a little investment on their part, they're going to get great dividends as a result. And so for that reason, I think it's probably a low-level burden that is well worth it. I do want to emphasize what you've said, though, because it's so true. In MeQ published research, we've shown that resilient people are doing better than non-resilient people in every single kind of work environment. But no matter who it is, if you place them in an environment that's high stress, that is high load in terms of workload and cognitive load, and with low support, that everyone's resilience gets hit. So I think of this in terms of my daughter, to be perfectly honest. I have a wonderful 17-year-old daughter. She's about a year away from college. She's going to go out there into the world, and I know for a fact that she's not going into a world that's fair or equitable. I know that she's going to make about 70 cents on the dollar of her male counterparts, and she's going to face discrimination. I know that this is true. I want to change that system. I want to do everything I can to create a system of integrity. But by the same token, I want my daughter to be equipped with all of the skills that she needs to be as tough, agile, and resilient as she can. I want it both. So the way that I think about this and the way that MeQ thinks about this is, yeah, we want to upskill the individual in resilience to make them as hardy, agile, and burnout proof as we possibly can. But we also want to be making sure that the teams are resilient and that there's resilience in the organizational system itself. And we've done a lot of research on this. We know that the kinds of factors that matter in terms of creating a resilient environment in which people can thrive is that we need integrity of system. We need a level playing field. We need goalposts that don't shift. We need equitability of treatment. We need every voice heard, and we need a place at the table for everybody, regardless of who they are. We also need to create psychological safety so people feel secure and able to speak up and able to make calculated risks and make mistakes so that we can have that growth mindset happening. We know that we need to inject positivity into these cultures in order to allow the natural resilience of people to blossom and bloom. We also know that it's really important that an organization has a coherent set of organizational values and that they practice what they preach. And finally, to create this system of resilience, we really need people to be connected to a sense of meaning, mission, and purpose. So really important for us to be able to operate on all levels so that the burden isn't totally on the individual. But the fact is that upskilling and resilience is that gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I love that, Andrew. Thanks for sharing that. Clearly, by cultivating a resilient workforce, we create a culture of adaptability, innovation, and growth. MeQ is here to partner with you to drive sustainable long-term success. What steps have you taken to build a more resilient workforce? Share your thoughts with us at events@mequilibrium.com, and let's continue the conversation. Please visit resilience2023.com to learn about our upcoming programming. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.